One thing I'll never understand, maybe as long as I live, is how Jack Del Rio, a man that has spent his entire life in and around helping, playing with African American guys, all of a sudden is painted as this evil man. He has spent a lifetime doing good things as a coach. I've talked to a lot of people about Jack Del Rio over the last 24 hours, and man, oh man, everyone to a man talks about what a great dude that he has always been. But he made the mistake, Jack Del Rio did, of getting the ire of the left, right? He got them all upset because he had the audacity to say the word dust up. Yes, it was a stupid choice of words. Yes, it minimized something that really was more than a dust up, let's be honest. It wasn't what the left is making it, but it certainly wasn't a dust up. It was more than that. And he had the audacity to compare that or even ask, why, oh, why, oh, why? Why aren't we looking at both things? The supposed peaceful protests of a couple summers ago, along with what's happening. Now, I didn't put it right, but if I'm Jack Del Rio, I got to tell you the first thing I'm doing. Can we show the statement from, noted great human being Ron Rivera, who has etched himself into the consciousness of the left? He is the guy. Ron Rivera is now all of a sudden, the great frickin', you got to answer to Ron Rivera when you make a social justice post. Well, Ron Rivera, his entire argument about why he fined Jack Del Rio $100,000 because of Jack's not making the distinction between what was peaceful protests. I got to tell you, I'll tell you this on Friday, and I'll tell you this again. There was no damn peaceful protest in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, it may have started out peaceful, but it wasn't. And it's okay to say that. Look, the Indy Star, which is America's greatest newspapers, they tell us, I don't know. They continue to say, mostly peaceful. No, it was a murderous protest. It ended up with Chris Beatty murdered. It was a destructive protest, and it was all across the country. And here's the deal with these protests that all these guys want to tell you. Listen to what Del Rio says. Del Rio calls it, you got to be able to make the distinction between peaceful protests. I'm going to read it verbatim for you because it just drives me bat blank crazy. And we listen to this crap. We do. We listen to it. We can't wait to listen to it because, frankly, we think that Jack Del Rio is now a bad guy, or at least the conscious thinks. Listen to this. Coach Del Rio did apologize for his comments on Wednesday. He understands the distinction between the events of that dark day and peaceful protests, which are the hallmark of our democracy. Like, I would have more respect for Ron Rivera if he said, look, I'm a liberal. I think people climbing up into the Capitol is wrong, and I would agree with him. Personally, I'm not a liberal, I'm not a conservative, but I would agree with him. You climb up into the Capitol, I think you should be arrested. But don't BS me and tell me about peaceful protests. I mean, that's where you just lose me, and all you are, Ron Rivera, is another shill. That's all you are. You're just a shill. You're just a guy that can't think for himself. You're just a guy for a paycheck. You're not going to win anything. You've never won anything. There's nothing about. You're a backup as a player. You're a backup now as a coach, even though you're the head coach of the Redskins. You're there because you fit a narrative. And the narrative is, well, I got to make this organization look good. I got to make the left like our organization because there's too many bad things going on. And I know we're not supposed to criticize Ron Rivera because he's in commercials as a minority, but I really don't care. As I said, I've been around Mexican people my whole life, African Americans, so I feel like, hey, look, I'm going to treat everybody the same. If I was a white dude, I'd criticize. But don't sit here and tell me that the events of that dark day and peaceful protests are different. Here's where they're not different. They both should be prosecuted. The hell's so hard about that? You climb up into the Capitol, you climb up into the speaker's seat, prosecute. You throw your ass in jail, but do it honestly. You burn down Indianapolis, you burn down buildings. I watched a white dude. Yes, a white dude. This is what really got me triggered. Guy takes off a street sign, throws it right through Harry and Izzy's, right down Illinois Street. Got me nuts. Made me end up going down there the next day buying food for people that were working to clean the place up. And everybody was down there, black, white, Hispanic, everybody was down there helping clean up these not peaceful protests. Peaceful protests don't have murders attached to them. Peaceful protests don't have glass broke, businesses broke. Jack Del Rio wasn't wrong when he said that people lost their livelihood. Hell, these businesses still haven't coming back in my city. I'm sure your city's the same. Our chicken blank mayor was allegedly unavailable for personal reasons. Yeah, okay. Told the police to stand down. Well, guess what happened? The entire city burned. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed in Indianapolis downtown is this. We got no more businesses. I mean, maybe the Indy Star decided not to put the race of the person in the newspaper, or Fox 59 didn't, or they're all afraid. But you know what? All we got is a bunch of burned down businesses. And if you think that's peaceful, then God bless you. You should be the coach of the freaking Washington Commanders. You should work for that idiot Daniel Snyder if you're that freaking stupid. The posturing is unbelievable. The organization will not tolerate any equivalency between those who demanded justice in the wake of George Floyd's murder and the actions of those January 6th who sought to topple our government. Yeah, really? I mean, that just shows the ignorance of of Ron Rivera. I don't understand how Jack Del Rio stays there. Like, if I'm Jack Del Rio, hey, Ron,